You guys, it's Paul Mac C, and I decided to do a review of Atari 5200 Defender. That's right, Defender. And you know, we get different art on the 5200 version cartridge than we do than the 2600. Now I know you're missing that 2600 girl with the nice boobies, and she is pretty cute. But here we have like kind of an astronaut and I don't know, his daughter getting abducted. Anyway, different art. That's interesting on the cartridge. Now it plays pretty good on the 5200 if, and I say if, you got the Wyco stick, baby. Also, it works well if you have a standard 5200 controller that is not, working bad, where you can press the fire buttons easy. But it works really well with my Wyco stick, along with this device. That device plugs into the 5200, then you plug your Wyco stick into that device. This device has a start button, pause button, and a reset button, and your usual keypad. Now, guys, I had duplicates of these. I had 2 Wyco sticks in box, and I had 2 of these. And I question my sanity as to why I sold one of the Wyco sticks and one of these guys. Somebody bought one of those off me even though one button was broken for like pretty good money on eBay. But now I got money in the bank and I just wish I had it back. You know why? Because I was playing Missile Command earlier, and one of the guys on Facebook pointed out to me that if you flip the switches here on the bottom of your Wyco stick, I knew I could do this, but I didn't think about it. You flip those switches, it becomes free range, just like a limp wiener. It doesn't self-center, but that makes playing Missile Command really good. So I got all excited. That worked out well, and I tried doing that for Centipede. Surprisingly, you can play decent Centipede in its normal position, at least mine. But I don't like the idea of clicking these things. You always feel like you're kind of breaking it every time you click these switches. I know you're not breaking it, but I think you're putting wear on it. And that I had 2 of these, and the other one was just a little bit less awesome than this as far as how new, and I sold it. Makes me wish I would have kept that one specifically for Missile Command, because I really like Missile Command for the 5200. I almost reviewed that tonight, and I'll do that maybe tomorrow night or later tonight. And I just really value this. I have the other device where I can hook up a 2600 joystick, but that doesn't work for Missile Command. And for Missile Command alone, maybe I just need to get a trackball. I regret selling. Anyway, before we get into the review, let's check out a little special video about Defender.
When we started on Defender, we had no idea it was going to be a success. I knew nothing about video games, never designed a video game. Here I was, the designer of a video game. I had no idea what I was doing.
Defender was the single biggest selling product that our company ever sold at that time or ever sold after that time. We sold over 60,000 coin-op units.
At the time, these kids were used to playing stuff like Pong. They'd never seen anything like this.
And I remember at that time saying, man, is this ingenious and inventive and much different than the very primitive.
So there's the real Defender, of course.
That you saw with Pong.
The graphics were unbelievable for its time, even though it's almost laughable today.
Defender was in production for a solid year plus.
The earliest concept was a version of Space Invaders where you could shoot in 3 different directions, and it just sucked.
We had to build a new factory just to accommodate the sales demand that we had for Defender.
Had some of the earliest things which now are known as particle effects, which, back in the day we just called them explosions. It's funny, when we originally put in there, it would just explode one enemy ship. We found that was really kind of lame, so it turned out that exploding 4 or 5 enemy ships for every one you shot looked really cool. We felt that, hey, let's actually expand the screen, just make the screen a window into a whole universe. And this buddy of mine, Steve Ritchie, says, hey, why don't you let the guy reverse? and fly the other direction. It's like, okay, why not? It's hard to imagine, how primitive things were back in the day. And like on your PC, say one of the icons on your desktop, the amount of memory that is used just for that icon was probably the entire memory of Defender, of the program, the graphics, everything.
Fortunately, my father provided my siblings and I with most of the Williams Electronics stock at a low price. And then all of a sudden Defender hit, and we became, punk kids, multi-millionaires.
We continued trying to do different games. At the same time, management was panicking. Hey, Jarvis, when is your game going to be ready?
Eugene would go,
Well,
There's the creator of Mortal Kombat.
Where are you? You should be tip-tapping your keys on the keyboard. Is there anybody there? What the hell is going on? Question for you. What was the question?
Mortal Kombat creator right there, Ed Boon. Boom. Okay, so thanks for hanging with me, guys. Now, as I promised, this whole thing is about being a review for the 5200 version of Defender. And Defender's another one of those games that we all have it on a million systems. By the way, that video that you just saw was an extra on the old PlayStation 2 Defender. Guys, remember this? It looked nothing like Defender because they went 3D and all. And I enjoyed this game. It didn't really feel like Defender at all, but I liked it. I remember beating it, and I like going back to it every once in a while and starting all over. The way you drop tanks and things. This is a good Defender game, even though it doesn't feel like Defender at all. PS1 and PS2 just had to get away from that 1D, and, expand. Anyway, we've got Defender. I choose to play it not on easy, but on normal. And you get these neat sounds when you switch. Here's how it works with me on the Wyco. Fire, Smart Bomb, and should you want to use hyperspace, you hit 0. So what I do, much like the 2600 when I play Spy Hunter and Stargate, using my toe on that second controller, I put my dirty, ugly toe right here, and when I'm getting serious about a good score, I depress it with my big toe, when I'm out of smart bombs, of course, and use hyperspace. But right now, I kind of have to hold up my legs. That's how I do these videos. I hold up my legs and I put them on here. And then I hold this camera between my knees. So I won't be able to use hyperspace for this demo. Anyway, I know I'm really dicking around. So it's time to show you guys the game. I'm not going to dick around, and you know what? I'm not going to vagina around anymore either, okay? My old joke there. You want to talk about old jokes? You know why they're called game consoles? You guys know why they're called video game consoles? Because it consoles you on the fact that you got no friends, no life, and no women. Anyway, revisiting my old jokes. So I hit start on Defender, and here, finally, we are playing Defender on my 5200, and it's not bad. I just got blown to hell, but that's not the game's fault. I'd say my complaints are minor, and one complaint is when my men are being abducted like they are there. It's hard to see that on the radar. But I'm getting used to it. Gonna smart bomb. There we go. I got a mutant after me. I would hyperspace now if my foot would allow it. I smart bombed. Sounds, as you can see, are pretty good. You gotta remember, this is coming off of the 2600 version, which was, disappointing, even though I'll play it. Just shot a pod, and he broke up into several different individual guys. That's a nice sign. A lot of mutants here. A lot of landers. My high score on normal, about 336,000. So hitting 1,000,000 is still some pretty good particle effects, as Eugene was saying. By the way, I'm a big fan of Eugene Jarvis, the creator of Defender, and Larry DeMar and the other guys, John Newcomer, the guys involved making those awesome sounds. So how do I rate Defender on 5200? Pretty good. Let's see if I can shoot a lander and rescue the human. There we go, that wasn't too painful. There you go. I'm aware there is a Stargate for the 5200, but the reviews are not very good. If it was at least of this quality with some extras, I'd buy that for $1. There's a mutant. Plenty of good fast laser blasting power. My 5200 version reviews of games that were once 2600 games first, I think I'm largely comparing them. And this must have felt like a big step up. You know why? Well, a lot of reasons. When you catch a human and place them on the ground, they sit where you drop them. That's a huge advantage over the 2600 version. I just smart bombed, I caught a guy. You do get your extra ship at 10,000. Landers are always a pain, baiters are always a pain in the ass. Now if I wasn't holding my phone like this, I would be using hyperspace more. But, you know, this is a solid playing Defender. So solid that I wasn't planning on reviewing it, but I changed my mind when I popped it in and remembered that it's playable. Now on normal even, you might feel like it's a bit too easy. I would never play this on easy, that's for sure. But the difficulty does ramp up. And then, considering I've never come near 1,000,000 on normal, I guess it's good right where it's at. I just caught a human. I mean, it's not perfect. Not when you can compare it to the legendary arcade Defender, but a lot of neat elements are there, like individual swarmers, individual humans walking independently where you dropped them. And there's game over. And that's how I do it, man. I hold my phone like this, and I kind of sit back like this, and I'm usually having a beer when I do a review. And I think this review went long enough. Anyway, that's Defender for 5200. Very playable if, and I say if, you have either a Wyco stick along with this attachment, or if you just got a really good 5200 controller that fires, that both these buttons work well without pressing them and breaking your fingers off, if you know what I mean. And I've tried the guys on eBay who claim that to fix your controller. This one guy is kind of nice, you know, I think he has, he's in a wheelchair, but, you know, he sent it back to me. I spent money and he's all flawless, like new. No, it wasn't. It wasn't new. So I don't know how you get a new, perfect working 5200 controller. I guess you buy one of those things that you replace it all yourself. Man. Anyway, that's Defender 5200. I'm enjoying myself tonight playing it. Have a good night.